All right, what's up, collective? Welcome to Ghostwriter Intuition. I'm your judge, jury, executioner, and president of the motorcycle club over here. My name is Bree. You can also call me Eden. And yeah, so today we're just gonna get right into the reading. We're gonna start with the channeled messages that were coming through this morning to me. Here, let's pull it up. So starting off with the energy playlist, I'll list and then I'm gonna dive into like the actual lyrics that were like jumping out from the music. And then we'll get into the runes that I pre-pulled and then we'll pull some cards. So the energy playlist is Toxicity from System of a Down, Psychopath by the Gazette, Ocean Planet by Gojira, Before I'm Dead by the Kidneythieves, and Hakkersgaldr and Krigsgaldr by Heilung. Both of those songs together are significant here. So let's get into the lyrics. New, what do you own the world? How do you own disorder? Now, somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep, disorder. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And then when I became the sun, I shone life into the man's heart. When I became the sun, I shone life into the man's heart. And then I was actually reading on Spotify the actual like little blurb that they like to say about the song. And there's something here about the phrase between the sacred silence and sleep. So that actually has ties to like Native American spirituality. And Serge said that it was like also like a reference to like REM sleep. So I'm picking up kind of like on the energy of like dream warfare, and like, you know, warfare in ways that aren't that are subtle, that aren't necessarily able to be fully seen unless you have the eyes to see. We'll go more into the lyrics. So right now, destroy, right now, far out. Did you drop the sexual organs somewhere? I make sure of your brilliant end with my naked eyes. I'm in a mental cage. I'm locked up, imprisoned. I live death-like, sickening, strong as your hold on my resignation. I don't see the stars. My memories are veiled. In fluid dreams I fall, I'm restless. Walls made of stone are turned into water now. Enlightened demons are taking me by the hand, approaching me, this great eye speaking. Mountainous waves are breaking on my despair. Awaken me, but I'm still dreaming, and I just plunge into the sea of light. Set open the doors of the soul I'm living. I'm in a mental cage, I'm locked up, imprisoned. I live death-like, sickening. Oh, sorry, I just read that. Yeah. And then who brought the horde to the land afar? Evil are the men who slander us, the household wains, built through a death wave over those oarlocks, wore out for, with a tired mast top. Hakkersgaldr is immune to magic. And then, what am I supposed to do if I wanted to talk about peace and understanding, but you only understand the language of the sword? What if I want to make you understand that the path you choose leads to downfall, but you only understand the language of the sword? What if I want to tell you to leave me and my loved ones in peace, but you only understand the language of the sword? So I let the blade do the talking, so my tongue shall become iron, and my words a mighty roar of war, revealing my divine's anger, arrow shall strike. All action for the good of all. I see my reflection in your eyes, but my new age has just begun. The sword is soft. In the fire of the furnace, it hungers to be hit and wants to have 100 sisters in the coldest state of their existence. They may dance the maddest in the Morris of the red rain. Beloved brother, enemy, I sing my sword song for you, the lullaby of obliteration, so I can wake up with a smile and bliss in my heart, and bliss in my heart, and bliss in my heart. Coexistence, conflict, combat, devastation, regeneration, transformation. That is the best I can do for you. I see a gray gloom on the horizon that promises a powerful sun to rise, melt away all moons, and it will make the old fires of purification Look like dying embers, look like dying embers, look like dying embers. Definitely go check out that Heilung song, man, because that shit is legit. So, as you can see, the ancestors of like the Norse pantheon were coming through super heavy. So the last two songs, Hakkersgaldr and Krigsgaldr, they're actually Old Norse inscriptions talking about a shipwreck of enemy army that was coming, and you know, basically they were talking about like who brought these men to the other side, past the rivers of death. It's really interesting, and the song is talking about like, so those two songs together, the first one is like the formation of like the shield formation, and then the second one is kind of like, you know, the ship is crashed now, and like, you know, these people are, you know, on the shores, they're bringing war. It's like, how to put this? It's like the it's talking about basically like the communication between peoples that don't understand each other, and like the futility of warfare. Like, I'm trying to make peace with you, but you don't get what I'm saying to you. So going into the runes here, I normally don't even pull runes for my collected readings, but you know, I had to for this one. So in the center position, we have Ingus. We have surrounded by Thursas, Ewas, Degas, and Perthro. So this is like leaning back onto familiar ways of doing things, and like we're being called to sort of assess how we relate to femininity and gender roles with Ingus, because I kind of associate Ingus with like the womb, but it's also like, you can think of it also as like a threshold to that which is already familiar. So in the past position, we have Thursas, which is like, you can think of it as a thorn, but you can also think of it as Thor's hammer. So this is a rune that's very aggressive, a rune that's very, you know, warlike, but it's also very like precise. And it can cause like really great destruction really quickly, if it's not wielded correctly. It can also drain the user, because if you're approaching something with fear, it's like, it can feed off of your own innate fears and your own judgments before it actually affects the person that you're trying to work the rune on for healing or for, you know, destruction. Everything with runes is duality. So with this being in the past, like somebody, you know, somebody was in the past leaning on, you know, their aggression and just trying to power through an issue, trying to gain domination over an issue. And in the near future position, we have Ewas. I have to show you which one, because there's like two Ewas, so there's Ewas. This is the one that actually specifically has to do with like the spiritual communication. This is like horsing. You're like being taken over by this spirit of aggression and rage. This is also kind of tying into the Galdr, because this is, you know, Odin's horse Sleipnir taking you across the Rainbow Bridge towards Valhalla. Especially with Perthro and Degas being in the ego and the shadow aspect, like the subconscious aspect specifically. So this is falling into familiar patterns out of ego, and with Perthro being here reversed, it's like a refusal to see the fact that there are multiple ways to skin a cat, so to say. You know, the future is not set in stone. Perthro is the Lot's cup where people, you know, draw. It's a dice cup, basically. It's chance. So this is also like a rune that can be used as a mirror to the consciousness as well, because, you know, with the great potentiality of what can be, it is up to the rune user to truly sit there and contemplate. Like, this is not like a surface level rune at all, being in the ego. So this is like being blinded by the ego. And with the Degas being in the subconscious, it's like this is somebody being blinded by their ego, not realizing that it's a new day. And that's gonna be to their detriment here. This is like the breaking down of tradition. It's giving me the energy of Odin at Ragnarok. So with that being said, let's get some oracle cards here. Call upon the Most High, my ancestors, angels, demons, spirits, and guides. Please be here with me, here and now, to deliver messages of the highest good to all of those in my collective who need to hear them, to dispel the veil of falseness and allow me to see that which needs to be seen. Nothing shall be hidden, everything shall be uncovered for the highest good of all. God damn, okay. So the wolves are closing in just popped out, and that's kind of hilarious because we're talking about Odin, right? We have living a double life. We also have Archangel Raphael and the dark masculine. So this is dominance, precision, eroticism, and structure. So this is kind of going back into what I'm talking about with Ingus here, like someone is being encouraged to look within and truly assess how their gender roles and their ideals of what they need to be. It's giving machismo. And Archangel Raphael is an angel of not only healing, but deliverance. So this is tying back into like the rune of Degas, like understanding that, you know, the potentiality for a bright new day, you know, like rebuilding after Ragnarok is here, but you have to, you know, truly assess how you are approaching life and approaching the world in order to bring that in. Show me more. You know what? No, we're not going to get into tarot yet. Let me use the dark mirror. Since we're talking about looking into Perthro as a mirror, let's look into the mirror together. Let's look into the mirror together. Mirror Oracle, show me what needs to be seen. Show me that which is neglected. Show me that is poison that needs to be healed. Show me what rots that needs to be cut away. Show me. Show me. Show me. Show me. we have addicted. At the bottom, we have anger and chains. And we have parasite. So yeah, somebody is running from truly processing their anger. You could be stuck in the anger aspect of grief here. And because of that, like, you become blinded by will to your own pain through this addiction that you are experiencing here. Interesting. And this is also kind of getting into what I was talking about with gender roles before, because this is a dude, but I don't know if you can tell, like, he's wearing a tutu, man, which is totally fine. Like, there's no issue with that. But it's sort of like, that's funny. Like I was about to say, like, you're hiding your true nature from the world because you feel like if you were to reveal it, it would be like almost like a 10 of swords in your back here. So you're addicted to you're addicted to the praise of others and wanting to be seen as right and as be seen as, I'm picking up on a masculine energy here, so we're just gonna go ahead and say, like, you're addicted to being seen as masculine. This is the energy of machismo at the detriment of the self here. Let's get into the book and we'll read, because sometimes the book is a little bit insightful with this deck. So we have number 11 with addiction here. So this is associated with the waning crescent moon, and it is the stage of depression here for number 11, addicted. It's not about choosing the chains, it's about choosing them again and again. See, this is what I'm talking about with Perthro. So freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I chose the latter. Addiction to something, to drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to making everything simple that can be deep. They have in common the feeling of being lost if we ever are without it. Freedom is not a friend. It is promises, responsibility, failure, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So how can it be that it is so easy to believe in freedom is an illusion, and it's so hard to feel that slavery is an illusion as well? That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all, when we lose the desire, much before losing the will to fight, is that actually is possible to reach the sky when bound in chains. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta put out a thing. All right, we back. We're back. We are so back. And then with blinded to pain, so this is the waning crescent and the stage is denial. I can shoulder it and it's not a big deal, isn't it? So carving oneself for every stroke of whip and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole. T.S. Eliot said that a fly lives a single day, has lived as long as we. Yet we accept the passage of time like it didn't matter, like we don't matter. Every single line is added, every day a single line is added to the pattern, a single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility, we take a little more abuse, we shoulder a little more pain, we smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to our wounds, we think we can endure it, it doesn't hurt, we say to ourselves, like men. because it's manly to endure and to be strong. Like women, because it's feminine to endure to be strong. Like humans, because we care, and gentleness we feel is precious to others. And we don't date to actually claim for ourselves. Or we don't dare to actually claim for ourselves. Interesting. Look at these little slips though. After all, we can do it, but it actually hurts. It's painful. Tears are better than feeding flies with our own blood. We can scream and say no, or endure, nevertheless, but remembering that we are just humans, neither heroes nor saints. So, someone here is denying their true feelings, their true emotions, their true self, and putting on this show for everybody else. What's interesting here is, like, with the presence of Odin being so strong in this reading, Odin is also a god that is considered to be, and then I don't want to say a patron per se, but a representative of the LGBTQ community, because of the fact that he was able to practice not only Galdr, but Seder, which was considered to be a woman's art because of the nature of the magic with the staff and everything like that. It was viewed as unmanly to practice Seder. But Odin was taught this magic from his wife, Freya. So somebody is putting off learning or doing something that they know would help them because they're afraid of how they're going to be perceived by everyone else around them, not realizing that what you eat doesn't make another person shit. Just to put it very bluntly for you. There's also something here about the energy of Gable, so like a gift for a gift. They're saying to me that it's better to offer nothing than to offer too much, or to offer and not come through. Which reminds me of a situation that I was dealing with a certain masculine in my life. We'll call him Zeus, because yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And I care deeply for Zeus, but he pisses me off because, like, bro, we can see it all. Yeah, with the Two of Pentacles in reverse here, this is like failing to juggle between one thing or another, and because of it, it's causing the emotional waters in the background to become turbulent because neither reality is grounded. Yeah, with Ace of Swords in reverse, someone isn't being completely truthful. There's a need here to cut through illusions and to accept things for what you are. With the High Priestess here in reverse, it's like you are denying what you already know. You're denying your intuition. Death is here to bring a transformation as you walk away from outdated beliefs and ideals and into your authenticity. It's like, I'm also seeing like the transition of Persephone from being the spring maiden into being kidnapped by Hades and converted into the underworld queen, and she eventually becomes even more feared than her husband. So with Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands, Pentacles keep wanting to come up. There's something about money here, but Oh, do you feel that if you don't if you don't express yourself, you're going to continue to secure your bag? So in your ego, you're causing conflict, to take the heat off of your own truth. Is that what's going on here with the Three of Cups? Yeah, you're like, it's giving someone's in the closet just to kind of preserve, their financial status, but they're really holding back from what they truly want here. And it's taking a toll on how they feel about themselves and others around them. Yeah. So you hide what you're passionate about, and you wait for, but like you're so defensive over something that isn't even, in the grand scheme of things, that big of a deal. Holding on to the perceptions of like an all-consuming family, trying to fit in with the Joneses. What else, Spirit? So what's the advice? Just fell through the cracks. Interesting. So the Eight of Cups just fell through the cracks. Interesting. You feel like your stability will slip through your fingers if you walk away from emotional disappointments. Yeah, you want to go into a passionate new beginning, but because of the fact that you're not able to properly give of yourself because you're tied into an old situation that doesn't even fit you, you're in this energy of brokenheartedness. So like you need to take the time to dispel the illusions you've casted into yourself about where your true stability and fertility is coming from. Yeah. We're gonna get a message from the crows. We're gonna get two messages from the crows, one from Heilung, one from Yunin. I need to get some new decks, y'all. Okay, let's see. Messages from the crows, please. We have warning, and observation, and grief, with battle. So the warning here is to not lean on those aggressive tendencies of the past here, and instead to truly observe. With the spider and the web being here, this is talking about the web of the weird. So this is not only affected by the things that you do, but this is also affected by the non-actions that you take. So weird is, you can think of it as the web of reality, but in a broader sense, you can also kind of think of it as the Norse idea of karma. But it's a lot more complicated than that, because like I said, it's what you do, it's what you don't do. It's the actions that sometimes that you don't take that are the reasons that you're experiencing issues here. I'm also hearing something about Anansi too. And there's something here about commitment. So yeah, if there's a commitment that you've been putting off, or something that you reneged on, especially because I know I was talking about Gable before, it's better to not offer at all than to offer it half-assed or to offer too much and to not follow through, because that'll get you fucked up. This is also going into the energy of like hospitality. The Norse ideal of hospitality is very important. In a lot of cultures, it's very important. So like how you treat your guests, the things that you do against your guests will come out to affect you in the end. Damn, that's deep. Okay. So don't be afraid. Just, try to gain perspective. And don't be wrathful again. Like, this is going back into the song. Like, what if I want to tell you that the path you choose leads to downfall, but you only understand the language of the swords? Like, I'm trying to help you out, but you want to take offense to it. And that becomes your detriment in the end, because more than what's being said and the actual value in what's being said, you're focused on the tone, or you're focused on the messenger. So let that be food for thought for you. And with that, outlaws, I bid you adieu. Check out the description box below. I've got the energy playlist for you to check out in whatever music app you like to use. And then I've also got information on my Botanica, the Viridian Room. Definitely shop with us. We have great products to help with healing heartbreak, attracting Venusian energy into your life for like wealth, love, and abundance. And then we also have, other spiritual products and services, by discretion. So if there's something you need that you don't see in the shop, we do customs, feel free to shoot me a message and we'll get that all squared away for you. We also do ritual work. So if you need a cord cutting, any sort of like self-realization and actualization work, I definitely specialize in that stuff. So yeah, with that, I bid you a good afternoon and let's ride.